What the hell is that?
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch with our pre-patch hype week day 4. And what do I have for you today? Enemies and armor upgrades. Now we talked about sound already, getting a major upgrade, and then I keep talking about how EHG really wants to close the gap on the visuals. Make sure that some of these other ARPGs, Last Epoch is in the conversation when it comes to what they can do with Unity. And you're going to see a big upgrade on visuals in this video. So let's start with enemies, okay? And I'll link this into the description. I don't want to read all this first stuff. We're going to start with the Void Grub. And doesn't this look like a cute little circular blob of pussing ooze? The first enemy we're meeting today is the new Void Grub. This relatively large, almost ball-like creature of the void may not be very nimble on its feet, but it has identified other methods of locomotion to be very wary of. Using its sharp tongue, it can also lash out at deceptively long distances. Watch out for the Void Grub. And look at the detail on this thing. I mean, you can see the little spikes coming out. I don't know. Looks disgusting. Moving on to the Void Drone. And this picture right here almost made my thumbnail, but I decided to focus on armor sets that you will see in a moment. The Void Drone. The second creature we're taking a look at today is the new Void Drone, a swarming enemy. Void drones can often be found in packs. Their flower-like appendage can allow them to camouflage into the environment, and you should be very wary of approaching a pack of Void drones unaware, as in a group they can pose quite a threat to you and your party. So you can see up here, it's got like looks like a flower. You ain't tricking me. Dude, this thing's like a thing of nightmares. Look at this. It's got its little mouth. Reminds me of something, but it's not clicking right now. I don't know. Maybe those little crawling things from Starship Troopers. I don't know. Next, the Flying Void Worm. Okay, the Flying Void Worm. You see these pretty early on. The Flying Void creature on our list today is the new Flying Void Worm. By introducing a flying enemy alongside ground units, we're providing more significant variation with enemies and provide players with a greater variety of targets to choose from. We felt that the previous void-fused bats did not accurately represent what a flying void enemy should look like, so we have replaced them with a more impressive model. Additionally, these new enemies are larger, allowing players to fully appreciate their striking appearance and beautiful face. Now, face is a very interesting word right here, because when I look at the face of this, it's got the long tongue and like those mandibles that come down. You're all going to think I'm crazy, but my brain goes to Tremors, okay? More specifically, Tremors 2, because the big mouth of the first Tremors would be too big for this, you know? You can see in there, you've got like the mandibles that come out and the long tongue. With the exception of the eyes, it's a Tremor face. You guys don't know about Tremors. I don't know why I brought it up. Moving on down to updating armor sets. And we have 3 armor sets we're going to look at. Actually, before we get to armor sets, I'm sorry. I should read these last couple sentences. There are certainly not the only new creatures to be found in 09. Some much larger and more dangerous foes are said to wander the world, though no one has yet been able to survive bringing the information back. So it's not like we're only getting 3 new enemies. There's actually like almost every enemy looks like it's got a new fresh coat of paint. It's just no one has survived to bring back the information. Okay, moving on to updating armor sets. And these are the most impressive. You know, killing enemies and fighting in combat style. That's all great, but what do you look like? You know, you want to show off and, you know, show off that awesome loot. We're going to start with, this is the new Primalist T60 armor. This is the new Primalist T60 armor. Look at the detail in this. Not too shabby, right? Okay. But this is not my favorite. This is not my favorite. And you're not going to be surprised because the next one is my favorite. This is the new and improved Acolyte Tier 60 armor. Look at this and specifically focus in on the lighting and kind of the shine that the armor has. By the way, I am so curious. I almost say it every video. I bring up my new unique Aaron's Will. So curious what that is actually going to look like equipped. So curious if the art matches. We'll see. We'll see. So this is the new Acolyte Tier 60. Last but not least, we have the Mage Tier 50. And I got nothing against Mage, but compared to the other two, I think this one is my least favorite. Okay. I do like the purple gems. That is my favorite part of this. And they're like on the feet and on the belt and on the shoulder pads. Double on the shoulder pads. What are those little scrolls or maps? I guess the crown is kind of cool. But this is the new Tier 50 Mage. Now, what do we have for tomorrow? Okay, so you saw some new enemies. And you got to see some new armors. The next video for pre-patch hype week, it looks like we're going to be breaking down performance. And I'm really curious how they're going to communicate this to us. I have a video, and I'll talk about it more when I break down performance. But we're going to see what the 4090 can do performance-wise inside of LE 1090 drops. Thank you all for joining us today to look into some of the enemies and armor improvements coming to Last Epoch and Beta 09. We'll be back again tomorrow with much more technical post as we take a dive into some of the performance and optimization improvements we've made to make for a smoother experience coming in just 5 days on March 9th. 4.5 days, I guess actually 4 days by the time I post this video. I feel like we're so close now. D3 reference. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out the Patreon. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you plan on playing multiplayer and you want to trade items, or I guess just say gift items, and you want to play multiplayer or maybe even stream with me, get into my Discord. Almost 1,700 members. We are in there, non-toxic environment. We have so much planned for Last Epoch. It's going to be a good time. That's all I've got. Hopefully you're entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.